Okay, today we're going to look at why I think the Nordisk Svalbard 1 PU is one of the best backpacking tents you can get, especially if you're looking to go wild camping expecting a bit of bad weather. Now, obviously, it is quite bulky, weighs in at 2 kilograms, but I'll give you the rest of the specs once it's pitched. Okay, so nice and easy to pitch. It is in a pitch only first, so that is going to put some people off straight away, but I think that's only the second time I've pitched it pretty quickly. I think even if it was raining, you're not going to get too bothered by that if you get the outer sheet on pretty quickly. Good ventilation front and back, but the key thing with this tent really is the strength that you get for the money. So it retails between 140 and 150 pounds, but it's wind tested up to 40 meters per second, which is about 90 miles an hour. So that's above hurricane strength winds. So the only proviso with that is that it's properly pegged down. So obviously you might want to upgrade the included pegs if you're going to go out in that kind of extreme winds. I'll go through the upgrades you can do on the 4 guide points later on, a pretty cheap upgrade as well. It is a really good little tent, plenty of height, and it's the inner space that makes it a bit different to your average one-man tent as well. I'm not a fan of leaving stuff in the porch apart from my boots and other wet stuff. I'd rather have my main backpack in the tent with me, and this tent does allow that, has got the space for your sleeping mat and your rucksack inside, as well as a couple of little pockets as well. So let's get inside and have a quick look at that space. Okay, so let's have a little look inside and just see what kind of space we're working with here. So an X-Bed Sinmat Ultralight and a 65 litre Berghaus Trailhead backpack, all fitting in there quite nicely. There is room at the head end as well, a little pocket, and there's your standard hanging point for a lamp at the highest point, and you can sit up and get changed in the tent quite nicely. But for me, I really like the idea of having the backpack in the bedroom, which is why this tent did appeal to me, as well as the performance in high winds. So let's get in the tent and give it a little cook test, see if we can actually cook with the door shut. Okay, so that's the MSR Pocket Rocket 2 and the Solo Cook system. I haven't got my pot stand, which is why it's looking a bit unstable. But yeah, you can cook inside reasonably safely, but it's not the biggest porch. So you do sacrifice porch space for more interior space. So if that's something that's really important to you, then you might want to consider a different tent. Also worth bearing in mind that if you've got like a jet boil or a much bigger system that's much taller, space could be an issue. It all depends how much you really value hot drinks and food if you are stuck in your tent during heavy storms, really. I'm not particularly bothered, so you know, I'd rather have the extra interior space, but you can see you can do it. So it is a really nice stealthy one-man tent with plenty of interior space, really high wind rating, should be really strong. Very good for if you are going to want to experiment with a bit of summit camping or camping in exposed areas. You don't have to worry. And I think for £142, which is what this one cost me, I don't think you're going to get a better all-round tent, but obviously you might have certain sticking points, like it being in a pitch first. You might want a bigger porch area. You might want a lower weight and a smaller pack size. But again, you know, there are different options out there if you want that. I think for a blend of all the different strengths, this is why I picked this tent, and I'm certainly really pleased with it so far. Pitching is really easy. The clips are all really nice. It feels really good quality. It's got an 8,000mm hydrostatic head on the ground sheet and 3,000mm hydrostatic head on the outer. And I will post the rest of the specs below. And you'll also see on my channel I do an in-depth comparison of this tent and its bigger brother or bigger sister, the Svalbard SI version. It's wrong to say it's bigger, it's exactly the same size, but there's a number of upgrades on that tent, but about £100 more expensive. So for me, pushes it above what I would consider a budget tent, which I would say is no more than £150, £160 really, if you're looking to buy, you know, your first tent and you're looking to go a bit of wild camping and stuff. So that's it for this review. All the details below. If it was useful to you, then drop me a like, subscribe to the channel for more content, and obviously we'll get this properly pitched up somewhere for a night out.